Today is an exciting day because right here in my hand, I have the 2023 ball python breeding scheme, which means we have to move and rearrange every snake in this entire aisle. Nothing like moving 500 ball pythons all around. Let's get started. And this is an absolutely ripper of a snake. This is actually a pastel Leo lesser clown ball python. I absolutely love this girl, and last year she actually took the year off. Hopefully this year she'll have some eggs. You might ask yourself,
why are you moving these snakes, Mr. Bryan?
It's all about organization. We have to organize our groups into what we're gonna breed, and if we have them all over the place, it makes it really confusing. We wanna make this as simple as possible. And that female is actually going to get bred to this male. I love this animal. This is just a black pastel clown. Now, because it's a recessive mutation, we'll get all clown ball pythons, but we're going to get a bunch of combinations of black pastel, leopard, lesser, all kinds of different things. It's going to be really, really cool. And again, the reason we're organizing things into groups is to make the actual breeding process a lot simpler. Listen, if I can save 5 minutes per day, this could take 6 or 8 months by the time I'm done breeding, right? That could save me 15 or 20 hours of time of actually doing it. And the truth is, I'm going to definitely be saving more than 5 minutes a day. I'm probably going to be saving like 15 or 20 minutes having it super organized. So the more I organize now, the more simple the breeding process gets throughout the next 6 or 8 months. Of course, this male was just starting to breed at the end of the year, fathered a couple clutches, but now that he's breeding, I'm super excited about this. Of course, it's the Super Lorry Leopard ball python. And of course, he's going to go to a handful of females this year. This is actually the Lorry Leopard, the ones that produce all the Super Lorry Leopards before, which is going to be really cool. But last year, we bred a Cine Lesser to a Super Lorry Leopard, produced some killer babies. And this is that female here, the Cine Lesser. So I'm really excited to see if we can duplicate that and maybe produce some other stuff. This is the one that we actually produced a white snake from. It didn't make any sense at all. So we'll see if that happens again. This is such an amazing time of the year. It's the most exciting time of the year because it's the beginning. Every year you think like every plan that you make out is going to produce, like that black pastel lesser or this cool calico pinstripe. You know, taking it to animals, you're thinking like every female is going to produce a clutch egg. I am really excited about this project here. Of course, the mystery, what I'm calling the Scooby gene. It's just got some really cool potential, and we're breeding some different stuff this year to continue to prove out what's going on. I think we've isolated the gene now, but this year we can actually take it even one step further, find out what's going on with it. The fact is that at this time of the year, it seems like every animal is going to produce, right? Because on paper, you're going, I'm breeding this to this, just expecting it. As the year goes on, reality sets in a little bit, and you realize not every single animal is going to produce. So this time of year is the most exciting because you never know what's going to produce. Once we're done rearranging all of the females, we have to go back and do all of the breeding cards.
What are the breeding cards for, Mr. Bryan?
Well, the breeding cards actually are for me to mark down copulation.
The heck is that?
That's when the snakes, you know, do the nasty. We also keep track of feeding. So I've always said that that's like the trinity of breeding, right? You've got feeding, you've got copulation, and you've got follicle growth. Those things work together. So if you keep track of your food, you keep track of your copulation, you keep track of your follicle growth, you're going to be able to have the most success. So it's very important to get fresh breeding cards every season. When it comes to the breeding cards, it's actually simpler for me to actually just look right on the cage. I know there's some computer software out there where you can actually enter things in. It's a little bit more smooth that way, but then you have to look on a pad. This way I can literally just glance at the cage. I know the last time it's fed, the last time it's bred, and what size follicles the females have. We obviously put masking tape on each group. So basically what you have here is you have a Dragonfly Vanilla Bamboo. That's all his females. So the next masking tape, which is a Woma Lesser paint. That way we have redundancies, right? We have the breeding cards, we have our records, and we also have paint. That way we never make the mistake of putting the Woma Lesser paint into the wrong group, because that'll definitely put a wrench in my breeding plans. This just makes things super simple, and simplicity equals success. Back at you with my friends over at Raycon. Thank you so much for sponsoring this video. You guys know I have been using these guys for years. This is my original pair. I'm actually getting a new pair. I'm actually getting a new pair because there's even some more amazing features. But still, I love this pair that I have now. Again, it's been working forever. They're super comfortable, and they can actually toggle between noise isolation if I want to just be away from everyone, don't want to listen to Mike at all, or if Mike is working with a big snake and I want to be able to hear what I've got going on. There's actually an awareness mode, which is pretty cool too. You can hear the sound really good, but you can still hear what's going on around. I've been listening to tons of audiobooks while I've been cleaning cages lately, and I just recently got done with The Millionaire Next Door, and now I'm on to $100 million deal. So it's a great way to spend my time while I'm working and actually doing something by getting smarter by listening to audiobooks. It is unbelievable if you don't have a pair of wireless earbuds in 2023. I mean, come on, get with the program. The thing I love about Raycons is that they are just as good as the most expensive brand, but they're about half the price. And with their optimized gel tips, they fit perfectly within your ear. And trust me, guys, they're comfortable and they are not falling out. And because I'm listening to long audiobooks, they have great battery life, 8 hours on every charge. And with this handy carrying case, you can get 32 hours of life with just one charge. And Raycon is always adding cool stuff. They now have sound profiles. Like, for instance, you can have pure sound, which is basically just kind of really crisp, awesome sound. I actually like to also sometimes when I'm really kicking some corn or some other heavy music, go to the bass sound, which has got really heavy bass. By just holding the L down for 3 seconds, you can toggle between the sound profiles. And if you want to grab a pair, which you do, by the way, you can go over to buyraycon.com/BrianB and save 15% off your order, brought to you by Raycon. Alright, so all the females are now rearranged in their groups. Now we have to actually move on to the male. And let me explain what I mean by that. Obviously, this is going to be our first male group here. We want number 1 male to go with the number 1 group, the number 2 male to go with the number 2 group, and so on and so forth. That way, when you're actually switching them, you're going, alright, the first male goes into this, second male goes into the second group, third male goes into the third group. The same thing when you're putting them back. It makes it super simple. Again, simplicity is what it's about. The time we spend now organizing will save us so much time in the future. On to the males. And even when you've planned your year out crazy and you think you know what you're going to get, every now and then you pop out something really amazing. This was actually a complete surprise. It was actually a black pastel lesser Woma that was bred to a killer Leo clown ball python that was actually, God, it's biting the heck out of me. It actually wasn't even supposed to be a het clown, and sure enough, we produced a bunch of clown stuff. This happens to be a pastel, it's a lesser, it's a Leo, and it's a Woma clown ball python. If I'm not mistaken, that'd be a world's first, and holy cow, this guy is an aggro little dude here. But look at how beautiful it looks, and like I said, you never know what's going to happen at the end of the breeding season. But not everything turns out good either. We actually had a Suma het pied that was bred to a mahogany het pied, hoping for the Suma pie. And out of 7 eggs, we literally didn't produce any pies at all. But we did get this really amazing Suma that is a 66 potential het for pied. Like I mentioned earlier, when I bred the black pastel lesser to a super lorry leopard, I popped out this little baby here, which is a little blue-eyed leucistic. Again, I've never produced any leucistic from breeding any other lesser combinations into lorry, so I have no idea what's going on. So I'm going to just raise this little monkey up, breed it out, and find out what the genetics are. And I showed you that mystery, or what I'm now calling a Scooby gene, and look at some of the stuff that it's producing. I mean, this animal is absolutely ridiculous. The future is going to be crazy with this gene because we're just starting to get into other mutations, and already we're popping out some crazy stuff. Here in the next 2 or 3 years, this thing is going to make a bang for sure. And this year, we're breeding some pretty cool animals. And this is actually one of its siblings, too. Look at the gray on that animal right there. It's absolutely ridiculous. I don't even know why these animals are turning out this way, where it just wipes out pattern, changes color, gets all this paradoxing spotting on it. I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm going to figure it out, and it's going to be super exciting over the next couple years. But before we start daydreaming about what we're going to be hatching this year, we got to get back to rearranging the males. Last thing we have to do with the males is make these cards. These are actually breeding cards, and we have to go through and make them all, because basically what happens is that this card will go onto the female's cage that it's actually breeding. That way, when we put him back for a break, we'll know where we left off on the females. So all the males just need to get tags to tell us what it is. So we have to clean these up, get this going. Then we can actually get males in with females. And now the fun begins. My Cine Sunset male, the first male going in with the female for the 2023 breeding season. I tell you what, I can't wait to see what comes out. Speaking of out, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, there's a playlist that you can watch all kinds of videos. You can also hit that subscription button. It would mean a lot to me. Also, hit that like button while you're down there. Have a wonderful day, Reptile Army. Remember, that's when the snakes, do the nasty.
Yeah, why I use it.